Good afternoon, Bhargav. It's Monday, the 10th of July. Here's the heads up brief for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 21 issues. In North Asia, we covered 8, and for Australasia and the Pacific Islands, we covered 6. In South Asia, we covered 22 issues, plus the major issues in Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Hello there. Thank you. Can we move on to the major issues today?
Right. And regarding Myanmar, the German government is developing a seventh round of European Union sanctions against the military government, with a particular focus on shutting off the supply of jet fuel to the country.
All right. It'll be interesting how this will have an impact on the ground. Myanmar has a very strong supporter that is China, and Russia will jump in and help Myanmar in the entire affairs in dodging the sanctions and its impact. So I do not see how this is going to have an impact on the ground.
Great, we'll keep an eye out. In the Philippines, authorities are increasing security in Negros Oriental province. This is ahead of the local village level elections that will be held in October. The province has been known to have a bit of the left-wing communist insurgency.
All right. Thank you.
And in Papua New Guinea, the assistant police commissioner said that police are cooperating with different groups to control the escalating violence in East New Britain province. This is the site of a prison break a few months ago that led to riots and unrest, and things have been tense there. Meanwhile, authorities opened a new police station in Koki and Port Moresby yesterday. This is to deal with the growing criminality in Port Moresby, specifically in Koki and the suburbs.
All right. The law and order situation continues to be a challenge. We'll keep a close eye on this there.
Yeah. Moving over to South Asia, at least 17 people were killed and several were injured during the local body elections in West Bengal on the 8th of July. There are repolling happening in several constituencies today. And the election results are supposed to come out tomorrow, but there may be delays due to the repolls. And yeah.
All right. The violence and the deaths raises quite a few questions about the overall situation as well as the law and order, specifically because of the deployment of the central forces, central paramilitary forces, more specifically BSF Border Security Force and Central Reserve Police Force. So if they were deployed, what actually happened that led to so many deaths? Were they complicit? Were they not complicit? Or were they just incapable and incompetent?
Great, those are important questions. Hopefully we'll get an answer to that. And also in South Asia, there's been rain-related deaths and disruptions across India and Pakistan as the monsoon season has come later than expected, but strong.
All right. So these are some of the critical issues we were discussing with Paul probably a week ago. How the governance and government in India is a little too focused over divisive political key flagpole issues such as UCC, that is Universal Civil Code, and CAA, NRC, the citizenship bill and whatnot, instead of focusing on entire its energy on the infrastructure and the key elements that actually affect people and the businesses. Now, this is a hallmark of why governance in India is deluded, misguided, and completely on the wrong track. Although credit where it's due, they have tried to focus on infrastructure and improving some of the key motorways and highways, but that doesn't really take away from the fact that critical infrastructure in the capital city, including the diplomatic enclave of Chanakya Puri, is inundated with water. For a country which projects itself to be a leading power in the developing world, this is nothing short of an embarrassment.
Great. Yeah. And moving over to Europe, Polish authorities announced that they will deploy additional military regiments along the border with Belarus. They had recently increased security after news of the Wagner relocation there and of increasing tensions along the Belarusian and Polish border.
All right, thank you.
And in Israel, the first reading of the judicial reforms bill will probably take place later today. Protests against the reforms will be held tomorrow. Protest leaders said that they will engage in marches, rallies, and other disruptive events, including outside the international airport in Tel Aviv, to show their opposition to the controversial judicial reform.
Thank you. We need to focus on how these protest movements evolve. From what's happening on the ground, there are enough signs to suggest that this is going to expand and it is going to intensify. So we'll have to keep a close eye and keep our clients updated there. Thank you. Nothing
Yeah.
further from my end.
Yep, we'll keep a close eye on this. Thanks, Bhargav.